What's up, GT guys? Welcome back, where today we're going to be going over some huge GT500 news. And stick around because the Ford GT, well, it's finally broken in. We have 600 miles, and next week we are going to be testing out what it's like to put the pedal to the metal. So you're going to want to find out, stick around, you're going to enjoy the video. Now today, what I wanted to talk about are a couple of things. Well, if you've been following along, you probably already know that Ford released the horsepower numbers on the 2020 GT500, 760 horsepower and 625 pounds-feet of torque out of the 5.2 liter cross-plane crank supercharged V8 engine. Now that is a huge mouthful, but it's an impressive statistic coming out of the new GT500. A lot of you guys, I think, were a little bit disappointed to know that it doesn't have more horsepower than the Hellcat Red Eye or the Demon, but I think we're going to be just fine, especially when you consider that the Mustang is going to be a much better all-around performance car, and it's going to probably be a lighter package than either of the Challengers. So while the GT500 may not beat the Demon with its drag tires, the drag radials on a drag strip, I do think it's going to be much better of an all-around performance car, and in my opinion, that makes Venom kill demons. So let me know, what do you think? Does Venom kill demons? I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments below, so be sure to chime in on that. What I wanted to talk to you guys about today, though, is this right here. Now this is all the new pricing information which just came out on the GT500. And while the new GT500 is going to, for sure, be the fastest, baddest Mustang ever to come from the Ford factory, it's also going to, by far, be the most expensive Mustang to date. So let's go over some of those options and see what you can bring this new GT500 to. So I haven't quite memorized all the statistics yet. I'm going to be reading off my iPad, so forgive me, but let's go over some of the new statistics and the pricing information. I think you guys are going to be really interested to see the pricing on this new GT500. The entry-level GT500 is going to cost $70,300, and that's before destination delivery, gas guzzler tax. It's going to bring you your final price up to $74,500 for the base GT500 just to get your foot in the door. Now the track package, which is the one that's here, and the one that frankly everybody wants, with the big carbon fiber spoiler, the carbon fiber wheels, and the front wickers in carbon fiber, that's going to be some big money. It's $18,500 on top of the base price of the GT500. So that's going to bring you all the way up to $93,000 to get into the carbon fiber track pack. Now that's some serious money for a Mustang. And a fully loaded GT500 is going to come in closer probably to $110,000, and that is before any dealer markup. So I'll let you know how you can get there. We're going to dive a little bit further into the order guide and see what you can spec out your Mustang like. So $93,000 is the entry price for the carbon fiber track pack. From there, you can add $10,000 if you want painted over-the-top stripes on your Mustang. Now, some people might opt for either no stripes or the $1,000 decal stripes, but painted stripes are a nice option that some people may want to go with. So that'll bring your price up to $103,000, and there's still more to go from there. From there, you can go and add the technology pack to your car, and that's going to be $3,000 to bring the base or the price up to $106,000. From there, you can add on Recaro seats, which are obviously a must-have in the track pack, and that's another $1,500. So now we're up to $107,500. You can get your interior carbon fiber trim on the dashboard, and that's $1,000. So that's going to bring us up to $108,500. Now keep in mind for a second that this same package costs $500 in the GT350, but when you want carbon fiber on your interior of the GT500, well, for some reason they're the same parts, but it costs $500 more. It's $1,000. So again, now we're up to $108,500. You can add in the $1,500 handling pack, which is going to bring you up to $110,000. Now, keep in mind that this may be overestimating slightly because the track pack may already come with the handling pack. I'm not really sure, but theoretically speaking, maybe we're around $110,000. And if you want the upgraded paint, which is that really nice red color here that almost looks like the Ford liquid red that we have in our GT, or if you want the Twister orange, those are going to be $500 options. So that'll bring the final price up to $110,500. There are still even more little things like a car cover that you can add on here and there. So we're looking somewhere around $110,000 for the 2020 GT500 with the carbon fiber track pack. Now that is a lot of money. It seems like the Mustang is moving into supercar territory both in price and also in performance, because this new Mustang does promise to be the best performing Mustang ever. And it better be at that price range because, like I said, you're moving into supercar territory, so you gotta kind of put up the stats to demand that kind of pricing. So I think that is both kind of a good thing. It gives us Mustang enthusiasts a hugely performant supercar, but also it can kind of be a bad thing because this new GT500 is almost stepping into unobtainable territory. The highest level Mustangs were always a kind of expensive car. I'm going to give you some perspective on that by comparing to some of the Mustangs of old, the SVT Mustang Cobra, for example. The 2003-2004 Mustang Cobra back then was $34,000. When you adjust for inflation, that's about $47,000 in today's money. Now, it's expensive, but it's still obtainable for most people. When the 2007 GT500 came out, it was about $44,000. Now, adjusting for inflation, that's about $54,000 in today's money, which again is expensive, but still relatively attainable. Then the 2013s came out, the 2013 GT500s came out. Those were about $55,000 to $60,000, and the 2015, 16, 17, 18 GT500s also between $60,000 and $70,000. So when you consider that, this new fully loaded GT500 is going to cost almost double what some of those older Mustangs cost when you factor in for depreciation. Now that is kind of a big jump in price range for this new car. Of course, it's going to give you way more performance than a Mustang has ever had before, and it's hard to compare, something as sophisticated and technologically advanced as this to something like an old Terminator Cobra, which basically was just a Mustang, throw in the IRS suspension, throw in the supercharger, and kind of put it out there for consumption. But, this is a well-built, complete package. So, we're kind of comparing apples to oranges, but either way, any way you slice it, this is still a Mustang, and it's still going to be $110,000 plus. And that's before even factoring in the dealer markups. And we know the dealers are pretty greedy when it comes to markups on this car. For example, I've heard people saying that they're going to be paying $40,000 to $50,000 over MSRP for the new GT500, which again, if you're paying for the carbon fiber track pack, may bring the final price up somewhere around $140,000, $150,000, which is pretty outrageous money for a Mustang. And I totally understand Ford did not intend it to be a $150,000 car. That's not the MSRP of the vehicle. But at the same time, if people are going to be paying $150,000, that is a lot of money. And the GT500, really has to have the performance to back it up, because at that money, it's got some stiff competition. I think, for that money, you can be cross-shopping the new GT500 with a Viper ACR, the Corvette ZR1, some of the older used Ferraris, maybe an F430. You can get a McLaren 570S, a used one, Porsche GT3, and the list goes on and on. There's a lot of cars for 150 grand. That's a lot of money that you're, potentially spending on a car. Now, we'll see. Maybe the Mustang has the performance to back it up. I can't wait to get my hands on it to test that out for myself. But I'm really interested to get your opinion on that. Do you think that the Mustang at $110,000 to $150,000 is overpriced? Or would you rather have the Mustang or some of those other more exotic cars that we were just mentioning? Let me know in the comments below. Now, again, I am not in any way bashing the new GT500. I am a huge fan, and I'm still first in line at my dealership to pick one of these up. But it is something to think about. These are still Mustangs after all, and they are going to depreciate. So paying $150,000 for a car, which may be worth $80,000 in a couple of years, or $70,000 or $60,000 in 5 years, is that a good way to spend your money when you could be buying something that may not depreciate anymore, like the Viper ACR, the 430, the McLaren 570? Are those safer ways to invest your money? I'll leave that up to you guys to decide in the comments. But again, those are just my thoughts on the new 2020 GT500. I am still massively excited for the car. Just wanted to discuss the price with you guys. As always, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Looking forward to discussing with you in the comments below. And stay tuned for next week when we really get to take advantage of all that horsepower on the new GT. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.